Hey everybody, Larry at Cameo Home Inspection Services. Welcome to my very first video of 2020. Gonna warn you in advance, I'm a rank amateur at this, so please bear with me. I'm bound to make some mistakes. I'm gonna try to make them not be too horrible. Um, I hope to continue this every week, and my point in doing this is simply to try to give real estate brokers some better information about what we're seeing as home inspectors, why we are calling out the things that we are calling out, maybe give you a little better understanding of what's going on in my head when I see things, um, as I'm going through the inspection process. So, that said, what I want to talk about is mold, the M word. And what I'm going to tell you is that in every class that an inspector goes to, every conference, every seminar, we are always admonished, you are not a mold inspector, you're not certified, you're not licensed and ordained to say mold, so you don't say mold because that's a liability. So we have certain euphemisms that we use. It's black furry stuff, it's dark discoloration, it's bioorganic growth, whatever. If you're a realtor, you've heard it all. But for the purposes of what we're doing here right now, let's just call a spade, okay? Let's talk about mold. And in particular, what I want to talk about is mold in attics, because that's becoming really, really, really common. In point of fact, I had the opportunity to run some statistics because I was asked by the local code authorities to give them a little class on what we were seeing as home inspectors. And I was astonished that in all the inspections I have done in the past couple of years, I'm seeing mold in attics probably 20 to 22 to even 24% of the time. So it's a huge, big thing in terms of the number of times that we're finding it. So, what does it mean? How big a deal is it? So, first off, is it toxic black mold? Is everybody going to get sick and die? Probably not, no. Um, could people get sick from it? I suppose. Um, is it a health risk? I'm kind of on the fence about that unless it's really severe. And most of the times, the stuff that we're seeing is light discoloration or whatever. Okay. When do you call it out? What's the threshold? Okay. Well, I'm an inspector. I'm a generalist, so I have to leave these kinds of decisions up to a professional. No offense to anybody. This is kind of like being a little bit pregnant. You either are or you are not, right? So when I see discoloration in an attic, I don't have the ability to say, that's not that much. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to let the professional decide that, okay? Why is it happening? It's happening because of heat loss, 99.9% of the time. Sure, there's other things that can affect it. You've got your bath fan ducts that aren't vented out of the attic. You got bad ventilation, whatever it may be. 99.9% of the time, it's heat loss. Here's how this works. Hot air rises. When hot air rises, it takes moisture with it. When it reaches the attic and it reaches the underside of the roof sheeting, which is colder, it condenses. The hot moisture gives up its moisture. It condenses, and then it grows bioorganic growth, mold, whatever you want to call it. Okay? So even if it is a mold and it's putting out spores, you're going to have to figure out how to change the laws of physics to make hot air not rise and carry those spores out of the attic. That's why I don't think it's that big a deal in terms of a health risk generally. Now, why is it a big deal? It's a big deal because people have a knee-jerk reaction to mold. Mold is a big, huge, hairy deal. I have had people where I've been into the inspection for 2 hours. I come out of the attic. Let's debrief about what I saw in the attic. I try to explain it to them. We're done. We're walking. That's it. There's mold in the attic. We're not buying this house. But wait. No, we're done. There's people who literally have started to exhibit physical symptoms. Ugh. Oh, I knew there was something. I knew it. I felt it. My throat's tightening up. My sinuses. Okay. I can't stop that. So the deal is this, that whenever you buy a house, and you all know this, you have to think about selling that house. I don't want my client to get saddled with this thing that somebody's going to turn around and go, oh, we can't buy your house because it's got mold. Or even complicated by the inspector that comes along and says, oh my God, you've got mold in the attic. And everybody goes running away. So that's the importance of this whole thing, in my opinion. Treatment recommended always based upon the opinion of the mold expert. And again, if the mold expert says, nah, don't worry about it, great, we're done. I'm not going to argue that. You're the expert. We're done. If the mold expert says, yeah, we should treat it for whatever, great, we're done. I don't care. But I want to defer to him. Testing. Would I test for mold? Would I recommend that? Honestly, no. To me, this is like having a fire in a garbage can in the kitchen. Well, do I throw Perrier or do I throw tap water? Who cares? Nuke it. Make it a non-deal. I mean, be done with it. I think the only exception to that rule would be if you're buying the place to be a rental, then I would probably suggest that once it's treated for mold, you have it tested to make sure that on paper it says, we are free and clear from mold. And that's only to protect your liability. So that's my story about mold. I'm sticking to it. Next episode, we're going to talk a little bit about remediation and dealing with some of the things that have precipitated this to happen. In the meantime, if you have questions, email me, cameohomeinspection@comcast.net. You can message me on Facebook. You can call me, 459-1632. Either way, let me know. And if there's things I can answer for you, I'd be happy to do so. In the meantime, stay safe. And I can't do it on that hand. That one, I'm a Trekkie. Live long and prosper. Have a good night.